So module 1 on this course is about browsers, and a browser is the computer program that you need to be able to access the internet, and the browser that you get built in as a standard into Windows 10 is Microsoft Edge. So we'll start off with Microsoft Edge and show you how to download the first browser, and the one that we recommend and we want you to use, which is Google Chrome. And the rest of this course will be using Google Chrome, so that's the first thing that we will do. So here is the opening screen for Windows 10, and then we get the opening screen for the Microsoft Edge. So what we want to do is to type into the address bar at the top www.google.co.uk, as we are in the United Kingdom, and that will go to the opening screen for the Google search engine. And in the box on the Google search engine we type in Google Chrome download. And this is the link to the Google Chrome download, and we can then click on the button that says download, and we accept the Google terms of service and install. What do we want to do with it? We want to run it, so that will then download Chrome. So we'll pause this video while that's downloading. So we click on the approval for that to go ahead, and off it goes. So we're asked the question, do we want to make Chrome the default browser? The answer to that is yes, so we'll click on that. We'll pin Chrome to the taskbar. That's the bar at the bottom of the screen, which includes links to whichever programs that you choose. And then we click on continue, and here is the Google Chrome browser. So here is our basic Google search engine page, and we can set this to be our home page so that every time we fire up Google Chrome then it will go straight to the Google search engine page. And the way we do that is by finding these three dots in the top right hand corner of the browser window, select that and go down to settings, and settings will allow you to make changes to the Chrome browser so that it will do the job that you want it to do. The first one you see at the top is signing into Chrome. Now, signing into Chrome needs you to have a Gmail email address, and we'll be covering that in a later module. So once you've got a Gmail account, then you can log into the browser, and you can then use the browser to go and search for your emails and to find other settings which are particular to that particular login. But what we want to do first of all is to arrange the search engine so that this becomes the basic page when you fire up Google Chrome, and it will go straight to the Google search engine. And first thing to do is to find this entry which says show the home button, and it's got a little slider, so if you click your mouse on that, move it over, and then you'll see in the top left hand corner this little house icon turns up which says open the home page. And the home page, you can either set it as a new tab page, which will be blank, or you can set it to the Google search engine, which is https://www.google.co.uk, and that then becomes your home page. So that's all we need to do for the moment. So if I click on the little house icon, that goes straight to the web link that you set in for google.co.uk. And this is the address bar. So any website that you want to go to, you type into this address bar and the browser will then go and find the particular web page that you're looking for. So sticking with the top left hand corner, we have this little circle icon which is the reload icon. So if we click on that, what it will do is refresh the particular web page that you're looking at, and these two arrows allow you to scroll around and go back to a previous web page or stick on the one that you've got. So those are the basic controls up in the top left hand corner. You'll also see that we've got this plus mark, and this plus mark enables you to open up a new tab. So it is still the same browser, but it is a new look on the world. So you can then type in a different website in there. So if we go to, let's say, the BBC, type in www.bbc.co.uk, then we will have two browser tabs open, and we can select to move between the two. So we can then have 3 or 4 and then click the cross mark and they will disappear. And this is useful for this course because if you're following the course on one browser window, you can keep the other tab open so that you can then practice the material that you're picking up through the course. So that's the way of keeping several browser window opens. There's no real limit on that. It's only limited by the capacity of your machine. So let's have a look at some of the more of the options under the 3 dots in the menu. So if we go from the top to the bottom, a new tab, we'll add a new tab, which is what we did just now, just by clicking on the plus mark. If we go back there, we can have a new window. Now, a new window is a complete new browser, and that will give you certain options which you don't get with just with the tabs, but it's not a significant difference at this stage. It only is necessary if things are not working properly. And if they're really not able to get off the ground, then you can open up a new incognito window. And a new incognito window, which is what this is on the screen, means that all of the settings that you had with your browser originally are now no longer in effect, and you can then access a website. You can disable all of the passwords, all of the settings, all of the cookies that relate to that particular website, and the website will not know that it's you that's connected to them. And that's called an incognito window. And it's sometimes necessary to use that, particularly on the advice of help desks who want to try and test to see whether you can access their particular website. So you get a warning for incognito, and it can be useful. So we'll come out of the incognito window, and this is pretty much where we just left it. So go back to our 3 dots. History is a record of all of the websites that you've been to, so they get recorded. Let's have a look at downloads. Now, downloads are a place on your system where if you're asked to download a video or a document that supports a course or any other download, it may be a program that you're asking to run, like we downloaded Google Chrome, then that goes into your downloads folder. and the downloads folder is particular to you, and this becomes part of your profile. So when you're logging in, then your downloads folder is part of your profile, and anything that you download, as much as or different to someone else who is logging onto this machine, will go down into a downloads folder. It's empty at the moment for us, so what we'll do is we'll go back and we'll have a look at downloads folder a bit later on in the course. So then we have bookmarks, and bookmarks means that you can bookmark a particular page, and one thing we need to do first is to show the bookmarks bar. So if we want to bookmark the BBC homepage, we go to the three dots, select bookmarks, and select bookmark this page, and the BBC page will then go into the folder which is the bookmarks bar. This is the first bookmark that we've ever done, so if we click on done, then we can see that the BBC homepage is recorded on the bookmarks bar, which is along this line here. Go back to the three dots and go back to bookmarks. We can go to bookmark manager, and we can then select some new folder by clicking on the three dots in the blue bar. So there we had add a new folder, and we can have a new folder called links, and we can save that, and that is then one of the options where we can save some of our web links. So if we add another one, add new folder, and we call this course, then you'll be able to save any links that relate to the course. So if we want to go back to our BBC page, we can bookmark that particular page by putting it into one of the folders that we just created. So we created one called links, and we can put it into the links folder, which is part of the bookmarks bar running along the top. So the next thing we want to do, go back to the three dots, is we can select zoom, and zoom will give you a larger picture by clicking on the plus mark, or a smaller picture by clicking on the minus mark. So we will leave that on 100%. We can also print the page. So if we print the page, then we will be then printing to a printer which is on the system. So if we go to the print option, we select print. This particular web page has got 11 sheets of paper involved with it, but what we can do is we can actually select the printer that we want to send this particular print job to, and the one that is the one that we would use if we wanted to go down this particular road is the Hewlett-Packard Photosmart machine. So we'll cancel out of that one, as we don't particularly want to print that particular page. So if we go back to Cast, Cast is a way of sending videos running on your laptop through a piece of hardware provided by Google to your local TV or one of your other devices which are connected to the same network. So we'll hop over that one because we don't use that. There's then Find, and the Find option is a way of searching through all of the particular web page that you're on for a particular word. So if we want to find if there's any reference to President Trump on here, we type in Trump into there, and the answer is no, there isn't. But if we were looking for, let's say, Banksy, who has a article written about him, then you'll see that Banksy's name has been highlighted, and if we went down to it, then that would be one way of finding anything that you're looking for on a particular web page. So we go down to more tools, then we can save this page. So if we want to save it, we can click on that, and it opens up Microsoft Explorer, which is something we're going to look into in a lot more detail in the next modules. But we can then select a location where we can actually save the web page that we've got, and the web page type is an HTML file type. So we'll be talking about file types, and so we can click on save, and we'll come back to that later on. So back to our three dots, more tools, save the page. We can create a shortcut to it. We can clear browsing data. Now, browsing data is something which help desks are very fond of asking you to do, and they will say to get to our website, clear your browsing data. Well, that might not be in your best interests, so it's much better to open up an incognito window, which is the one that we looked at a short time ago, and see whether that does the job of being able to connect to difficult websites. And help desks it's a favorite cop out by help desks. Task Manager is just a list of those programs which are running within Chrome. Now this is on top of the Task Manager that's also included within Windows, and it gives you very much similar information. It will show you which programs are running within Chrome or within Windows, how much memory they're using, whether they're using much of the CPU, that's the central processing unit, or the processor, whether they're on the network, and finally who it is, which process ID it is that it's actually connecting to. So that's another way of seeing if anything is snarling up your system and slowing it down. So the next one on the list is the edit commands, which are cut, copy and paste. Now we'll be looking at those in a lot more detail in the next module, but to cut a file or a piece of information from your screen is to put it somewhere else. So you highlight it, cut it, and then paste it into another location on your system. If you want a second copy, then you use the copy option. And we won't go down those at the moment, because we're going to cover that in much more detail later on. And then settings are the ones that we went to when we set up our home page. So you can then have a look and see who can sign into Chrome. We haven't got a Gmail account, so we can't log into Chrome as things stand, but we will be covering that again in a later module. Passwords, we can manage those, and other people. Themes, we can look at themes, but we'll probably go to the Microsoft theme, which is a good alternative for this. There we have show the home button, which can we switch on and off, and there we've set google.co.uk as our home page, and then we're showing the bookmarks bar, so we can actually bookmark web links and save them to the bookmarks bar, so you know where to find them. And then font size is the ones that are on the system, and this depends on whether you want it, set it to a more comfortable level for what you're running at the moment. Customize fonts, you can set particular fonts going so that you can then check that out. They're set default to Times New Roman, but you have all the fonts available by the dozen, and you can select which font you like to make your browser look as you wish. And then that's pretty much all there is in the menu on Google Chrome. To see the version that you've got, then it's under help, and help about Google Chrome, and this will tell you the particular version and whether it's up to date, because the update scenario is automatic, and so when there is an update, then Google Chrome will deliver it to your system. And that is pretty much all you need to know about Google Chrome for the time being. So on this module we've talked a lot about Google Chrome. We did the setup of that. It replaces Microsoft Internet Explorer, which is in itself has been replaced by Microsoft Edge on the latest versions of Windows 10. There is also another browser called Firefox that you may have heard of, and that would be another download. So if you go to Firefox download, then that's another browser that you can use. If you're familiar with smartphones and iPads, then they use a browser called Safari, which has got very many similar features but is not usually available on a PC. And then final comment, we looked at HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transport Protocol, and there is another version of that which is called HTTPS, which is Hypertext Transport Protocol Secure version, and the secure version is the one which is preferred by Google. In fact, there is discussion at the moment that the HTTPS will become a requirement for websites, and the security aspect of this is an encryption method which is used by the controllers of the websites in order to make the whole process of downloading information from them to your local system in a secure way. And the encryption that they use is called the public and private certificates system, which enables them to apply encryption to the downloads and gives you a much more secure window for you to carry out, in particular, transactions.